Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland. Each year on the first weekend of December, a group of Winona's local artists get together to display and sell their artwork for the Christmas season. For those of us who are looking for the unusual gift, going on the Christmas Art Walk is the perfect opportunity to find it. During the Christmas Art Walk, you can meet the artists and purchase their artwork at the Rivertown Pottery Studio at 252 East 8th Street and at Studios on 5th, located at 506 West 5th Street. If you miss the Christmas Art Walk, special appointments to see and purchase the artwork can be made by contacting Linda Dennis at Magnolia's Gift Shop at 177 Lafayette Street. Her phone number is 452-5077. Magnolia's also features the artwork of several local artists, which can be purchased throughout the holiday season. Today we're going to take you on the Christmas Art Walk to give you a preview of the artist's work, to meet the artists, and give you some ideas for Christmas giving. This is Darrell Anderson, one of the artists at the Rivertown Pottery Studio, and Darrell is a painter of beautiful wildlife scenes, and most of them, Darrell, look like they're from around Winona. Is that correct?
Quite a few of them. I've captured the ideas of the surrounding area. I've also used photographs I've taken, and actually parts, even pictures out of magazines and that. Not whole pictures, but parts of pictures, maybe a background or a tree or a bird or something that I can incorporate into a different backgrounds. So there's a lot of combinations involved.
Well, how do you see yourself as an artist, Darrell?
I would describe myself as a blue-collar artist. I'm kind of a weekend painter. I don't do this for a living by any means, but it's a great stress reliever. I really enjoy painting. I create a bond with myself and the subject matter I deal with, especially birds. The last year or two I've done a lot of local birds, songbirds, and I can really appreciate their beauty in nature and how they interact in the community and with other birds and with other animals by actually watching them after I painted one.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what you hope, for instance, that your customer would get out of purchasing one of your pictures.
Putting themselves maybe in the outdoors where this birch tree is or where the cardinal is or where the bluebird is. I think birch trees have a great visual texture. The colors, the bark peeling off, really they're a majestic plant, and I really enjoy painting birch trees, especially kind of close views. So maybe a connection with nature. Not all people are hunters or not all people are fishermen. Some people just go out and take a walk and maybe realize what a gift actually nature and the animals around us are.
So you're hoping to bring the outdoors into a person's home by your artwork, it sounds like, correct?
Yes, that's a very good way to describe it.
Okay. Tell me what you love about your paintings and about painting itself. What is your passion here?
Well, my passion is, you're always striving to make a perfect picture. And my passion is kind of trying to make a picture that blends in every corner, every square inch of the piece. So you have a smooth flow from maybe the birds, foliage, the background, the sky. Picture that really portrays a nice image or inference or feeling to the viewer.
Darrell's pictures are perfect for the nature lover. His outdoor scenes are colorful and his subjects are charming. These lovely original paintings come framed and are very reasonably priced. I'm now standing with Julia Krueger, who's also displaying her lovely artwork here at the Rivertown Pottery Studio. Hi, Julia.
Hello. Hi.
Julia, your stuff is beautiful, and it looks almost like places around here as well. You do a lot of landscapes around this area.
Yes, yeah, that's the main thing that I do is landscapes, and I get a lot of inspiration from the Winona area, but I also like to travel a lot, so some of my artwork is reflecting of, where I go. Mm-hmm. When I get a chance to take a trip, I usually do artwork from there, but Winona has kind of a constant source of inspiration.
Let's talk about the medium that you use.
Yeah, well, mostly they're oil pastels on black paper. I do a lot of blending, and it sort of becomes like painting. Some parts of it are not blended at all, so I can do a lot with the oil pastels. Another medium that I have is woodcuts. Another medium that I do is oil painting, which is more of a winter thing for me. And it usually is more on the abstract. Every piece is different. The blue herons are something that I've always been attracted to. My studio name is Blue Heron Studio. For some reason, that bird has always been kind of special to me. So I'm sort of always having a blue heron in my display of one way or another. I seem to always have blue herons. There's no end to what you can paint around here, and in other areas. If you just get outside and look around, it's all there.
Describe the piece right behind me, the woman with the wing. I think she's lovely. You've captured such a beautiful image on her face.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's my tree angel. She's kind of a river tree angel. She's sort of in a series of angel paintings that I've been doing.
Another angel from the series was made into prints, which can be purchased framed for $350. This picture, called the Spring Angel, would certainly add a happy, whimsical touch to any wall. This is Lynette Power at the Rivertown Pottery Studio, and Lynette has been with us before on the show and showed us how to make all these beautiful pottery pieces, and now you've got them all prepared and ready, and I see a lot of new things for the Christmas show. Tell me what's new, and tell me about your pottery.
Well, we have some Celtic designs that are fairly new. I've got a few of the torsos that I'd like to put a few new torsos in every year, a little bit different gesture and size. And then I have a whole line of bronze, which we can go and look at in a little while. I have a friend who has carved some Celtic knot designs, and then we've made some molds on those original carvings. And then I've used them in my for some mirror frames and for some oil lamp designs. And I've also worked them into some of the torso textures in the torsos.
And I see some great ideas for Christmas giving here. Let's talk a little bit about the smaller items and the costs of the items and, the things that you have for sale here.
Okay. We have some little oil lamps. These are very popular little gifts. And these have oil goes down into the reservoir. They have a glass fiber wick and a porcelain bead. And it'll just draw the oil up to the top. And so it's a nice little candle-like flame. And then that same concept has been incorporated into the wall-hanging oil lamps. Most of them have a little mirror behind them. Some of the Celtic knots have been incorporated into, I call these moss bowls, because we used to put some air ferns on there and into them because it would hold water for the air ferns. But now we just use them as soap dishes and jewelry catches. But these have just an infinite number of designs, and I've used the Celtic knots in quite a few different designs for the dishes.
And it seems very reasonably priced. And this little dish, a lovely dish, it's only $20.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And there's some 16 on just the little round ones. The oil lamps are $10 and $12. I have some just kind of abstract little designs. I've used texture and lots of different shapes. We have them tall, we have them short, and they make nice little business card holders or a pencil holder, just functional, fun, little, unique, individual little gift items.
They're perfect for that. And I do want to comment on this one here. I noticed you've really gotten a lot of detail in this. This looks quite different than what I've seen before.
It's like the 4 seasons, 4 different little figures are in there. I think we looked at these before in the show. I think I've showed you these before. These are still some of my best sellers. And then the wall style ones like this, those are very, very popular. Okay. We have some nice little cameo kind of designs here. Those are still some of the favorites. And then we have some little, right behind you there, Joyce, the little shell with the little angels on. And, of course, the angels always make things just special to people.
Tell me about the pleasure that you get out of presenting this show at Christmas time.
Well, I do quite a few out-of-town shows, so it's just really fun to have all my friends come and, be known in my own community. And so many times when I'm out at shows, people don't get a chance to come to, mostly it's Renaissance festivals that I do, and so people just don't get a chance to, get up to the Renaissance during the season so they can come and see my work here in town. And then I've been doing with my bronze sculptures, it's pretty new, and so people have talked, I've been talking to people about that, so this will be a chance for people to come and see these new sculptures.
Well, thank you, Lynette. And now I'd like to go take a little look at your bronze sculptures.
Okay.
Now, Lynette, we're in a new room in your studio. It looks like a brand new gallery. Some pieces I've never seen before. They're beautiful. Tell me about this room and about the pieces you have here.
Well, last year for the Christmas show, I wanted a really special place to present my bronzes. And so I fixed this room up for the Christmas show. In the past 3 years, I've been working toward learning the bronzing process. So I've taken my clay sculptures and done molds on them. And then into the molds, I have to make a wax copy of my original sculpture. And then the wax copies go to the foundry, and they make a ceramic shell mold on them, and they melt the wax out, and then they pour bronze in where the wax used to be. So we have a lost wax process is how bronzes are made. I have been showing mostly at the Renaissance festivals, and I'm going to be presenting these at fine art shows. It's a gallery, more of a gallery look, so I really have to change my whole marketing scheme from what I've been doing for the clay production. So it's kind of a new process, and still working with it.
Looks like a real positive evolution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really exciting. It's just, I love the figurative sculpture, and I just love the whole, like this last week I've been playing around with patinas. And patinas, I've been glazing my pottery, and patina is a whole new field that people can spend a lifetime developing. And so I have a lot to learn, but it's just endlessly exciting.
You are really an artist in progress, aren't you?
Oh, always. Yep, all my life I will be.
Good. Well, we'll look forward to many, many Christmas shows with you.
Excellent, excellent.
We're currently now in Magnolia's, which is a darling little gift shop on Lafayette Street between 3rd and 4th Streets. And this is one of the shops that's also on the Christmas Art Walk. And I'm standing with Linda Dennis, the owner of the shop. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Joyce. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. Well, you have a darling shop, and you have a variety of things. And I know you feature some of the local artists here in Winona. But tell me a little bit more about your gift shop. What kinds of things do you have here?
What I'm currently carrying are some antiques. I'm carrying Polish pottery, Polish ornaments, and a lot of local artist goods.
Okay, now I know you're featuring perhaps around 6 or 7 artists. Tell us about who they are and show us exactly what you have for sale here, okay?
I'd love to, Joyce. Over here, we have some of my husband's work, and he is an artist that loves to do many things, gold leafing, pinstriping, sandblasted signs, so I'm also featuring him in the art walk today. Around the corner here, I'd like to show you some of the locally made cards. We have our all-occasion cards. They're made by Peggy McDeed. I have some things by Julia Crozier, some note cards. I also have some photo cards by Karen Rail in Winona. Here are some beautiful scarves, handmade or hand-knit scarves, and these are made by Rita Prodzinski, as well as beautiful hats that she likes to make. I have some jewelry here by Bernadette Mahfood. And then I have Sally Mogren's handmade baskets. And she makes a lovely variety of baskets, many different sizes, different colors. It takes lots and lots of time. Around the corner here, I have Penny Kropadowski's handmade bath and beauty products, with soaps, bubble baths. Here I have beaded jewelry by Karen Leeden. And of course, I'm carrying the Winona mittens that are made by the ORC. And I'm really excited to be part of the Christmas Art Walk this year.
We're now in Kathy Richardson's studio on the 5th, where she makes these fabulous paperweights. And they all have a little bit of a story inside of them. They're very interesting. Kathy, tell me a little bit about this process of developing these beautiful weights.
These are special paperweights that are entirely glass. Everything that's inside the paperweight is sculpted in miniature out as tiny glass sculptures, and then molten glass is put down over the tiny sculptures and sucked down with a vacuum, and then the paperweight is formed and turned into the spherical shape.
They're absolutely beautiful. Now, I understand this is a bit of a family affair, and you've gotten your son involved. Let's talk about him.
Yes, my son is involved. He's been working with me for about 4 years. First doing mostly packing, shipping, and polishing and grinding, and now he's actually starting to work on making the paperweight designs himself.
All right, and this is Colin, her son. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
Tell me a bit about which piece you made, and tell me what it was like to make it, and what you learned from your mother.
Well, I've learned pretty much everything I know about this from my mother. She sort of build it from the ground up as far as this. These two are the ones that I've made. This one's a medium starfish paperweight, and this is minuscule of angelfish. And they're both done using the same technique. It's cane drawing on surface. So as the paperweight is built up from a small center, you draw on the outside of it with rods of glass using a high temperature torch, and then add more clear glass over the top of it, and then draw more on the outer layers so that you get a very stratified design where you have many layers and you can add a lot of different elements.
When you have the finished product and you're selling it to a customer, are you selling it as an artwork to them or as a paperweight?
Well, it is a paperweight, but I see it as a miniature work of art, and I hope that they will enjoy peering into my small world and seeing something new every time they look at it, so that over the years they get a lot of enjoyment out of seeing new things in it.
This is Walken Ratajczyk, who is also here at the studios on the 5th, selling his wares for the Christmas show. And you've got some lovely pieces here, Walken. I love the bright colors. Describe your stuff that you have for sale here.
Well, this is fused glass. Fused glass means it's stained glass, except I instead of putting it together with metal, I put it in a kiln and I fuse it together. So multiple pieces of glass turn into single pieces of glass. They're functional as well as decorative. My pieces range from roughly $28, and then they go up to $190.
These are not only very beautiful, very bright and practical, but these are really pieces of art.
To me, they're enjoyable. They're enjoyable to make.
And great Christmas gifts.
Yes.
The artwork seen on today's show from Studio on 5th can be seen and purchased by appointment by calling 494-0324. We're standing standing now by the pottery area at Studios on the 5th with Mary Denzer, who makes this lovely pottery we have been looking at here. And I see china bowls for rice, and I see little cups and pitchers and honey bowls and all kinds of things. You really have a good variety, Mary.
Well, thank you very much. My husband and I have been making pottery for over 30 years, and it's all stoneware pottery, so it's all functional. And it's either wheel thrown or hand built, and then it's high fire reduction pottery so that it's real tough, so you can use it without being afraid of breaking it. The glazes are all lead free, and we've been working and developing our own style and glazes for a long time. If they want a pasta bowl or a salad bowl, this is one, for example. It's rugged. It's pretty, I think, or we try to make them pretty. It's functional and pleasant to use. And this is a pie plate, and what we've put in it is a wild grape leaf while the clay is still wet, and then painted white clay over it, and then pulled the leaf out and put a glaze over it. Try to make things pretty. This is a rooster plate, and it is put on with different colored clays, and there's the rooster crowing and the sunrise, and it's just a little serving plate. The prices are very reasonable. There's a lot of hand work in the pottery. This is a little sheep, and it's all hand done. And then there's a little rooster, and he's done a different way. He's white clay is painted over the brown clay, and then it's carved out, so he's a carved relief. And also you can use this as a bowl, or you can just have it looking pretty.
Well, they're all beautiful gifts. Very lovely gifts. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
This is Yarrow Brown, also on Studios on 5th Studio. Hi, Yarrow. Well, describe some of your work for us, Yarrow.
Well, the originals are all watercolor, and I live surrounded by a lot of wildflowers all over the place, and I'm fascinated by them, and I just can't stop from painting them. I'm really fond of this one. This was a wood lily found in the middle of the field. You would never have expected to see that vibrant orange in the middle of all that green. And I'm very fond also of this one back here that has the red berries.
They're quite lovely, and I see you actually made them into some greeting cards as well. Tell me about the process.
I take the original and get them made into slides, and then the slides are scanned to a CD, and then the CD prints them out.
Now, do you actually go out into the woods and search these flowers out yourself?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you sit and paint them, or do you take pictures?
I do both. On a really nice day, I might fix a little drink, sit under a tree and work really hard. And other times it's a quick take a picture for reference and take that experience back with me.
And tell me, what kind of feedback do you get from the customers that come here and look at your artwork?
Well, they say they're very, very lovely. So I hope they think they're lovely enough to buy.
Okay, good luck to you. The premier artist at Studio on 5th is Bernadette Mahfood, who makes fun and colorful jewelry, all featuring her beautifully crafted handmade beads. Hi, Bernadette. Welcome back to the Spirit of the Heartland.
Thank you.
Now, you have more artists here this time, and you all have beautiful displays for your Christmas art walk. But let's talk about yours. It looks like you've got some new things that are quite interesting.
Yes, I've been reviving some work that I did a long time ago and combining it with my beads. So this is fiber work that I'm doing right here, all of this work. It's actually macrame. Lots of people remember macrame from the 70s. I did it then, but I went to very small work, very fine fiber rather than the big heavy cord that other people did. And I haven't done it for a while, but I've been reviving it for myself, calling it micro macrame.
These make perfect Christmas gifts.
Oh, I think so.
Very, very unusual. Now tell me about a few of your other things. From here, you would go around the corner, and I see earrings and some new things.
Yes, this work is actually done in the kiln. These are kiln-fired beads, and I actually make a long bar, and then each one of these is a slice off of that. It's kind of a mod look, which is back. What goes around comes around. These are takeoffs on something else that I was doing. It's like tiles. I was doing just tiles, which I have framed, but these are just little hangings where you can hang all your earrings along the bottom.
Well, what are some of the favorite pieces that your customers like to purchase from you?
Earrings, mostly. They come in all different colors.
Wow, and your coordinated sets are fantastic. Tell me about the inspiration for those.
Well, I'm a gardener, so there are lots of pins that have flowers as their theme. Some of them are actual flowers, others are just made up. Who knows where they exist, except in my head. And then one of my favorite ones is one that I call the Wild Woman. And it goes along with the theme of my name of my business, which is Hot Flash Designs, since I started this in midlife. The really gratifying thing for me is to have women come back and tell me how much fun they have wearing my jewelry and how many compliments they get.
So Bernadette, now if someone wants to purchase some of your earrings or your pins after the show is over, can they contact you here at the studio?
Yes, they can call me here. My phone number here at the studio is 494-0324. Okay. Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten your Christmas shopping done yet, you can either call Bernadette or you can call Magnolia's, or you could also call Annette Power at Rivertown Pottery Studio. Thanks for joining me today on the Christmas Art Walk. This has been Joyce Woodworth. Please join me again next week. Till then, enjoy the spirit of the Heartland.